my jam, I feel good. How you feel?
Taninger today. Little Taninger. No big deal. Nice little cuvee. What are we working with here? Probably a nice little combination of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Yeah, because it's a cuvee. Whenever you see cuvee, that means it's a blend. It's fancy.
I like duvets, not cuvées. I'm not a drinker. Unless it's milkshakes. I know a lot about milkshakes.
When you and I have sushi, and I'm like, Howard, have this sake. You're like, he just sits there in front of you getting warm. I'm like, crush it. I'm like, you gonna drink that, bro?
If I'm in the mood, sake has it's bottomless. I can go. But
sake gets me drunk.
I'm in the mood to drink. It's go time. But I like to eat.
I've done tequila shots with you in San Diego. You and I've done tequila. There's like video somewhere of you and I ripping tequila shots.
I like eating my calories, not drinking them.
What's your favorite food? You're dying tomorrow. Last meal. What's it look like?
Appetizer, falafel.
Really? You're starting with a falafel?
Appetizer. Maybe don't eat the bread. And then I just, slice a great Prince Street pizza.
I feel like you're just hanging out in Soho for an afternoon. Is that what's going on?
That's Soho. No, that's Soho. And then...
It's like all your favorite places in Soho right around the corner.
Well, I'd be sitting outside at Hane Sushi in San Diego, right?
After the pizza?
Yeah, they're doing it outside now. It's even.
No, my point is you're going to have falafel, pizza, then sushi in that order?
Then sushi. Then San Diego Country Club has the best milkshakes in the world. So
really?
So I would bring that in for dessert, right? Because there's nothing like a vanilla milkshake to just make you fully sick and hate yourself for the pizza, sushi, Toro, falafel. And then the only other food, so it's like a quick Mamoon's, great piece of Prince Street, Hane Sushi, vanilla milkshake, and obviously I would probably go for the Wagyu from Steak 44 flown in. So
What's that? That's Steak 44. What is that?
Great steakhouse in Phoenix.
Where?
In Phoenix, top 5 steakhouses. Maybe my favorite steak and dinner, even my kids.
And what do you get? What steak do you get?
I get the Wagyu.
You get the Wagyu. So you pay up. You pay up because you're bougie.
I'm bougie. I'm bougie about steaks. Once it's kind of like private planes. I'm not going to do private planes, but I'll do Wagyu. Like once you go Wagyu, it's hard to go back to coach.
Dude, Howard, bro, when you and I go to Japan, dude, you don't even know. You are not gonna want to come home. I mean, you're gonna be like, Alan, we're moving to Tokyo.
I just couldn't deal with the people.
The people are the best. They treat Americans, Howard. I've been to Japan.
I don't want to be treated well. I want to be yelled at.
They're not gonna yell at you. Are you kidding me?
Howard, you can do no
wrong. Howard, you can do no wrong in Japan. You can do no wrong. They have like They have their own rules amongst themselves. Like they can't smoke cigarettes in the street, but if you want to walk around and jaywalk with a cigarette in your hand, don't worry about it. Oh, he's an American. It's fine. He can do whatever he wants. You can't eat it. You can't eat in the subway. Like if you're Japanese and you're eating in the subway, like they look at you and you're like you're shunned for life. But if Howard's eating no problem. Have your breakfast sandwich. He's just an American. He doesn't know. It's fine. I'm telling you, bro.
I don't like that rule.
Dude, the food is ridiculous in Japan.
No, I've been there. The food's crazy. I was there pre-internet, and so that was like being on Mars. They talk about...
It's still like being on Mars. It's still like...
I understand. But being on Mars without Google Maps and an iPhone and people don't know. Like, you want to go with Elon Musk to Mars? Hey, how about you fly American Airlines in the 80s to Japan? It was the same thing. It didn't have there was no guide to little niche sushi places. It was hardcore Japanese. No one spoke English. There was no way around. When you read Shoe Dog, Phil Knight's book,
great book.
Realize how he had to disappear for months at a time to get that company done.
What a great book that is. You know why I love it? Because it ends once he's successful. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear all the glory days. It's all the struggle. And then once he makes it, that's the end of the book.
Yeah. And then also bad. His kid, died. And so it gets worse And then if you look at him today, you can see the toll of the travel and the drinking and the partying. He looks like, you know what I mean? Like really this.
But it's one of the most iconic companies in American history. Like that's not going to happen without a struggle. Just
No,
life
but
doesn't
I'm
work
saying,
that way.
you throw up some Amazon servers now and you're global, and people just do not appreciate every kid. Like they're telling kids to read books. You want to read a history book because it's recent history. I mean, that guy went 10 years.
Oh, these aren't Nikes. Sorry. I was like, oh, let me show off my Nikes. I'm not even wearing them.
Asics. You're wearing the Japanese.
What am I wearing? Are these? Oh, no, they are Nike. No, look. See, I'm not crazy. See, they're Nike.
The first 10 years, the guy was like, couldn't get that business going, So today you throw up some servers and everybody wants to be a unicorn by year 2.
Is that what? And then hold on. You sent your note. I love. By the way, you guys listening out there, if you're not getting Howard's note, like, I don't know what you're thinking. You know what I like about your note, Howard, is because it's short and sweet, like to the point. Here are a few links. Here's something I think is interesting. Like you say stupid shit that nobody cares about. Like I saw Larry David at a golf course. Like that's cool and everything because it makes you laugh and that's cool. But then you also add value. Like you're also like, oh hey, by the way, like I know like nobody cares that I saw Larry David, but this link to this podcast is super dope. Like you should go listen. So anyway, Howard, how do the people sign up for your daily note?
It's just simple. Go to howardlinson.com. I talk about my prostate. I'm into comedy. Obviously, I'm into markets and trends. So it's like, I think it's like 20,000 people a day. I've been writing for like 14 years every day. So it's, it's hard to please everybody. When you write that long for free, you're really just writing for yourself. I wake up 5 a.m.
Yeah, but you're looking at stuff that I'm not.
Well,
consistently. Consistently.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like consistently, you're pointing me to things that I also find interesting, is my point. Yeah. Like you're consistently doing that. And I wouldn't have found those places without you, or maybe I would have found them further down the road, maybe, right, is my point. So I think it's a lot of value for free.
That's the internet, right? Like you have to, like I say, social leverage. You can't just, you have to, I'm surfing the net, you're surfing the net, Fred Wilson surfs the net, Ben Thompson surfs the net, Alex Danko is now Shopify Money. These are people that aren't like super famous, but we all have our special purposes, as and Steve Martin used to say in The Jerk, right? And the original internet links were the internet.
The kids these days don't know about The Jerk, Howard. Like the millennials, like they're like, what are these old guys talking about?
Well, the movie his comedy doesn't hold up perfectly.
It's cultish.
It's cultish. His comedy I never was a huge like Steve Martin comedy fan. I'm a huge Steve Martin fan, right? Like I didn't put the arrow over my head and the dance like an Egyptian, and that didn't do it for me, and the banjo. But just in terms of sheer acting talent and just breadth of like what he can do, he was a fucking legend.
Hold on, didn't you dress as Bill Ackman once?
I did, yes, with Josh.
So I forget, how long ago was this, number one? And then was it a mask? What did you do?
I don't know. We were on Ackman's case and I had a white mask. It was during a Stucktoberfest. No one got the joke, so it's okay.
I have like this vague recollection somewhere of Linson dressing.
Listen, I can never be accused of a blackface. I definitely did a white hair. I did an Ackman. No one's going to like make fun of me for doing an Ackman.
No, nobody. They encourage that sort of behavior.
I'm very careful about, my hair. But anyways, on the blog, the idea is, I write for me. I write for the people that really, and it's weird, like it's just slowly kind of the internet, the way the internet and links work, right? You just keep doing one thing like you do at All-Star Charts. You can't be an expert in everything, but you can be an expert at synthesizing the way you look at the world with other smart people. And that's what Twitter was at the beginning, before they gave you the timeline algorithmic timeline. So really, serendipity was the internet. And so the people that find me know that I read what I read. You can't read all the things that I read. You wouldn't have time to do your regular job. So it's like, you count on me to look at the world my way.
Yeah.
And my job is to like 3 paragraphs a day to kind of let people know how the world looks to me. And then I'll go check in on Seth Godin's blog once a week, or your blog, or Fred Wilson's blog. I'm still old school. Now I like Substack. Twitter is just for me to send tweets because the timeline's all fucked up, right? Even though I don't trust it. Like, even if I have it on the chronological timeline, I don't think I trust it. And they're throwing in replies, and it's like, I can't get the randomness that the internet was. Twitter was like so random. And now I go there and I'm clicking on the news, and it's fucking Trump 1, Trump 2, Trump 3, Biden 4. It's just links to like crap.
When it shows on the upper right, like I don't know, like things you might be interested in, whatever it says, like on the upper right, like I'm not interested in anything on there. Number one, in most cases, I don't even know who these people are that they're talking about. Like, I'm like, what world do I live in that I don't know what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So for me, I guess they either don't get me at all or don't care to get me, or they want me to be looking at this content. It's one or the other.
And that's why
they're either clueless or evil. Clueless or evil. Which one is it?
It's not either. They're trying to make a buck. Like, they're not evil and they're not clueless. They're a little bit.
So they want me to read this content that they fully know that I have no interest in reading.
Yeah, well,
and that's not evil.
They're apologizing for the anger, whereas I love Twitter for the anger, right?
What anger?
If you give people a blank canvas to yell, 140 characters, they're going to yell. So what do you want? Like, the yellers are always going to
It's not the yelling, Howard. It's that they are telling me to read these things. They know what I'm interested in. I'm interested in like stocks, sports, food, wine. Like, that's pretty much it, right? Like,
I don't have advertisers for that.
I don't have any of that shit on there.
Because they don't know about you.
Yes, they do. They have my data. They know who I follow, what I click on. What do you mean they don't have that?
You're a random person. They can't fill ads about your...
Of course, Facebook does that.
They have scale. Twitter's tiny compared to Facebook. Trust me. And Facebook knows your age and where you live.
And Twitter doesn't?
No.
Yes, they do.
50% of the accounts are pseudonymous. What do you think? They know who Rev Capital is? They don't know what his net worth is. He hasn't told them anything. So the biggest people there, they don't know who they are. They're all bots. Trust me. Look at the stock price. That tells you everything. The stock price is not baloney. The key is to find people that have different, to synthesize, and that's how you really expand your knowledge. And that's what the original internet was all about. Links, right? And now we have these 5 monoliths that control the internet. And what's exciting is, Spotify, Twilio, Shopify a little bit, arming the rebels to at least Substack, where you can go build your voice again. WordPress, you've got to take control of your brand and your links and your thoughts. And, people always, it's hard to get people to come to your blog every day. And I write a very narrow, random thing. But the people that come, after 2 days of reading it, they know what they're going to get. Some silly.
Well, you're writing selfishly. And I don't know if you listened to my podcast with Morgan Housel that just came out a couple days ago. Give it a listen. I know you like Morgan Housel and the stuff that he does. I mean, the whole selfish writing, the whole benefiting, writing for ourselves because of the therapeutic process of putting ideas down on paper and really having to conceptualize and, really put it down. Like, we win as authors, as writers, whether it's in short version, long form, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, well, I do the opposite. I read selfishly too. He's like these voracious readers. I have a lot of friends and nephews and family that are voracious readers, and I'm like, good for them. And they're saying, this book's great. And I'm like, I've read 2 books that have moved me in the last 20 years. I liked Agassi's book, about his life. It's kind of self-autobiographical. Man, that was interesting, the shit that he went through. I want to read about people that had to fucking kind of live in the shadow. And Phil Knight's book, like how much you can't learn more from any kind of business than reading Phil Knight's book. It takes forever. You're going to go broke 7 times. You're going to have to, your family's going to pay.
People are going to screw you over.
You're going to get screwed over. You know what I mean? Your employees are going to let you down, and get over it, right? Like it's just, you're going to end up with a drinking problem and you're going to die. And you know what I mean? Like
as JC pours another glass of champagne.
So
it's happy hour, right? Aren't you supposed to be drinking at happy hour?
I'm going to go golfing with Matt. So I think, I'm very selfish, not just with my reading, but my writing. I'll get into a habit where I link to the same writer for 3 or 4 months in a row because I'm in tune with that reader, but it doesn't mean anything because I'll find another person, that, 2 weeks later, I'll find somebody else. But, part of, we go through these ruts when we're writing is because, you end up on these platforms that just put you in a, in a narrative, and they put you into like this zone where you can't get out of this spiral of shit that they automate you into this. So it's important that people share new names. The great news about the internet eventually is like with products like Substack that pop out or StockTwits, if you spend a little time on these open platforms, you'll find some incredible niche talent that can both make you money and obviously entertain.
Who's your favorite new talent? Who do you like out there out there? It just came out.
I'm interviewing, it didn't just come out, but I'm interviewing Alex Danko tomorrow from Shopify. He's running Shopify Money. He was at Social Capital working with Chamath. He just writes really interesting
Who's
stuff.
Shabab?
Who?
Shabab? Working with Shabab?
Chamath was at Facebook and now he's doing all the SPACs.
Oh, Chamath. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I can't pronounce his last name. So anyways, he was at that firm and now works at Shopify in Canada, and he's just a great writer.
Lindsay, look at this. Tuna tacos.
Nice. Where are you?
I'm at like a fish joint.
Oh, nice. You think you got enough? Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, we're gonna have me and Giancarlo.
You think you got something for a show?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you one more question.
Go ahead.
No, you gotta go pick off. Go do your thing. We'll kick it off next week. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Now that way, I'll make you think about it. Be like, what was he gonna ask me?
1.618. Oh, 1.618. What do we think?
About?
I like that shirt.
You want one?
Yeah, I want one of those.
Okay. What color? Black or blue?
That's the kind of shirts that people ask about.
I know.
I think I like blue.
You like blue, like more like a navy or a royal?
Navy.
Navy blue. All right.
All right, boys. See you guys.
Later, Howard.
Did you see Giancarlo?
Take care, my friend.
I love that guy.
Cheers. We're gonna have an oyster in your honor.
So good. I'm OG, overly grateful for the chance to kill the beat, bro. Kane and